Okay, starting from the Kyushu University landing page, you want to come up to the top right and hover over admissions and go to information for international students. Scroll down just a little bit until you find this, and you'll click the read more button, and this is where you will decide which program that you want to apply for. So since we're going over the international full-time student program, that's where we're going to click undergraduate programs. So right here, you've got, the different majors that you can apply for. You've got applied chemistry, civil engineering, electrical engineering and computer science, mechanical and aerospace engineering, bioresource and bioenvironment, and ISI, which is the School of Interdisciplinary Science and Innovation. And just below that, you've got a timeline to see like what you can kind of expect as you're going through this process, month by month, how things are going to be. I have not gone through this process myself since I'm an exchange student, but I do know that it is a slow process. So make sure to have your patience. But anyways, once you have decided which program you want to apply for, then you'll come down and download the application instructions and the necessary documents by clicking on this link. Now, once you're on this page, scroll down until you find your major. Since I am an engineering student, of course, again, I do want to mention that I am an exchange student, so I'm only here for 1 year rather than the full-time 4-year students. But I will click on the application instructions. And here you have everything fleshed out in front of you, right? You've got a table of contents laying everything out so you can have everything at, a quick reference if you need to go access it. And down below, you've got the timetable again, this time a little bit more specific. And this is for, this year, the academic year that I'm currently in, the 2024 to 2025 academic year. So this will change each year. So be mindful of that these dates will change. Anyways, coming down to the steps, right? You want to look at, again, which school underneath the engineering school that you want to apply for based on your interest. I'm a mechanical engineering student, so I would be applying to the Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering School, or program rather. And they give, some policies for admission that you must have a deep interest in these following fields. But, if you're going to apply for the school, I'd imagine you've already got, a sense of responsibility and are highly motivated. They just want good people here, not just good students. Anyways, we will head on down to the eligibility. In order to apply for this program, you must not be a Japanese native. Also, you have to meet any of these 4 following conditions. You can pause the video here to read this, or I will leave the link for everything that I go over in the description below. Once you've deemed that you have an interest in engineering and you've met the requirements, now it's time to put in your online application. You apply with the documents that were on this previous page that we were just on, but I will go view this just after we're done going over everything at a high level. Then you've got the application fee. Of course, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Can't do anything without money. So you got to fork over some cash if you've got some interest in applying to Kyushu University. No surprise there, but they have all the bank details down here so you can transfer the money. If you are a foreign national, it's 10,000 yen, but one of the requirements is to be a foreign national. So I guess if you're watching this video, then it's going to be 10,000 yen for you. Anyways, going down to these documents here, everything that you submit must be done in English. You can do it in Japanese, I suppose, but if you are a foreign national and coming to, take these programs in English, I would imagine that English would be the better route there. And so this is just kind of explaining how everything needs to be certified, true, original copies, and you have to send it via registered mail. So use a courier service like DHL, FedEx, OCS, or EMS, uh, and make sure that gets in by the timeline, right? Don't send it to them by that timeline or by this deadline, excuse me. Anyways, going down to the documents, here they are listed out in excruciating detail. So make sure you really pay attention, and everything must be to the letter. Um, Even when you submit stuff online, I mean, they have like certain file requirements and whatnot. So just really, really make sure that everything is exactly how they ask for it. They are very, very particular about the way in which they receive these documents. Again, if you want to pause the video and read through this, you can. Otherwise, I will be listing everything down below in the description. So pay attention for that. English proficiency tests. You've got the TOEFL, the IELTS. I've only ever heard of the TOEFL, but yeah, IELTS as well. Make sure to submit those and make sure that you're decent in English if you're going to be taking complicated academic curriculum in English. Anyways, once you've gotten through all of the documents or whatever, one of the things that you need to pay attention to is the minimum requirements for your academics based on your standardized testing. Now, one thing that they do have is a very, very strong emphasis on math. So make sure if you're looking to join this program that you've got a pretty comfortable understanding of mathematics. I can say for certain that I have taken a lot of classes in the engineering curriculum, and we use a lot of math, a lot of complicated math as well. Of course, the teachers are good, but they do expect you to have some sort of understanding if you're coming in as an engineering student. Anyways, now we finally get to the process itself. Once you have submitted the online application, we've got the screening process. And so the screening process is going to include your grades and transcripts, recommendations as well, and personal essays and statements of motivation. So you've got some information here as well. And if you are able to pass that preliminary screening, then you move on to the secondary screening. Now, the secondary screening is an online interview through Zoom. And that can be difficult based on what time zone you're in. I remember that when I went back home for Christmas and I was in the US, I still had to take some meetings, take some classes online. And it was like 3 in the morning or something like that. So be prepared to take a midday nap or be well rested so you can have a meeting at some odd hour in the morning. Anyways, what you can expect in that Zoom meeting is questions about yourself, right? Your experiences and what you wrote in your essays very specifically. They're going to be very interested in you as a person. Of course, if you've gotten past this preliminary screening and the application, they know you're a good student. They know you've got the ability to handle yourself in a classroom. Now they want to learn about you as a person and see if you're a good fit for the school. If you do have disabilities, in fact, one of my friends that I'm here with has worked with this disability division, and they're very accommodating, very nice. So make sure to reach out to them in advance. I'm not sure exactly how long. They've got a deadline right here. Of course, that'll change each year, but it does take a little bit of time. And then once you come to campus, you'll have a meeting with the disability division. And then after that, you get your admission decision. Very exciting time. If you've come this far, hopefully you get in. And from there, it's nose to the grindstone. There's a lot of things that you need to do. So for the successful applicants, there's an enrollment fee of 282,000 yen, which is quite a significant amount of money. And you need to pay that by April 1st. Wow, that is not a lot of time from March to April. However, they do have financial aid and other benefits, as well as an additional bonus of your first year, you pay half tuition, which is pretty crazy. So it's much, much cheaper your first year, which is very, very nice. So that can definitely help you to kind of, you know, get your feet up under you, get a hold of the lifestyle over here, realize what your budgeting needs to be, and then move on from there. Also, they've got the MEXT scholarship, which is a lot of money, man. 4 years with 117,000 yen per month. Quite nice, quite nice. I wasn't eligible for the MEXT scholarship myself because I'm in a short-term program, but and if you're coming over here, apply for it. Absolutely, it's so much money; it'll be so useful for you. Cannot recommend that enough. I know some folks over here who are MEXT scholars, and they love it. They don't have to have a part-time job at all. They're not hurting for cash. So they've also got some undergraduate scholarships as well and stuff like that. The classic university scholarships that most places will hold, and I'm sure there may be some third-party places as well. Maybe your country will have some sort of international scholarship. I'm not sure. Definitely be sure to look into that if finances are a concern. Anyways, moving forward to the dormitory. You get to select your dormitory and where you want to live. You have to live on campus your first year, and after that, you get kicked out, I guess. You have to live off of campus, and so sometimes you're able to extend your stay, but for the most part, you will live in the dorm your first year and move out your second year. And so from then on, you'll have to look for some kind of apartment, get a roommate, live by yourself, whatever that may be. And onto the tuition fees, here it is. I guess we're kind of moving past the admission at this point. I don't want to take up too much time. And then, basically the application process itself for this program is over. Let's go ahead and take a look at the application form. Okay, so here is the application itself. Zoom in a little bit. And yes, as I said before, make sure everything is in English or Japanese, and make sure everything is correct. Make sure everything is to the number as they expect. And you'll have to give your educational background, your expected date of graduation, about your high school, your awards and honors, basically just giving some depth to who you are as a student. If you've worked at all part-time jobs, maybe some internships as well. Then you've got your essays here that I had spoken about earlier, asking why would you like to study for the program that you're applying for. Really think about this. This essay specifically is for engineering because I'm under the engineering application. So really think about it, and they're going to ask about it when you have your second screening as well. So make sure that you understand who you are and why you want to do what you want to do. And the next essay is just talking about yourself. They've got some examples that you can kind of follow, but it's a really, really open-ended essay that you have, a great opportunity to differentiate yourself from, a huge crowd of applicants. So make sure you really think about this as well. Don't rush through it. It's a very competitive school, so you're going to want to make sure that you're able to present yourself in, a positive light. After that, you've got internship records, language proficiency, proof of financial support as well. That's big. They want to make sure that you can pay for this. And then if you are planning to apply for a scholarship, tell them why. Why do you think you deserve to be a recipient of this scholarship? Yeah, let them know why you need the money or why you deserve the money. It's tough, but, if you need the money, explain it to them and let them know. You need it. You deserve it. So good luck with that if that's your case. And then any additional questions down below. Um, you know, study abroad fairs. Oh my goodness, lots of questions here. But yeah, and then make sure to put your name in black or blue ink by hand. Again, please make sure that this stuff is as they ask. Going back to this page again, you have one more document to fill in, a proof of the period studied in English. Okay, now this is a pretty cut and dry document. State your name, confirm that English was the method of study, and make sure to get a school seal and a signature by your principal. It's very important. Again, I cannot stress to you how important it is to have things exactly as they ask it. And they will tell you, they will tell you exactly how they want it as well. So just make sure to follow that. Make sure to follow that. Anyways, that seems to be most of the information for the international program in terms of full-time students. Next thing I want to do is talk about the JTW program. Again, what we're going to do is start from the Kyushu University landing page, go back up to admissions, information for international students, scroll down to the same link, read more, undergraduate programs. Actually, I lied to you. You're going to exchange programs. And this is the program that I am a part of, JTW. And so I will speak on this because, one, it's in English, and two, I have experience with it. So let's go ahead and click the more information button. Oh, just scrolls us down. Yeah, so this is an exchange program. So your institution needs to have a partnership with Kyushu University. Again, here's a little bit of timeline, so you can kind of see, but let's get into the nitty-gritty with the documents. Okay, this is the JTW landing page, and from here you've got all the information that you could ever need. But we are going to go up to the top and click the apply button. Okay, first things first, you got to make sure you qualify for the program. The requirements are pretty straightforward. You have to make sure that you are in an accredited college or university, as I guess most of the world calls it. You've completed at least 1 year, and you've got a 3.2 GPA. This is on a 4.0 scale. And you have to have the necessary English proficiency, as they say. For non-native speakers, you will need to take a test and submit your score to them to prove that you can study and understand English. Because all communication, all classroom events and activities and whatever, all in English. Everything is in English over here. So make sure that you're really good at English. One thing I do want to mention is you need to be at a partnership university. So before we get into this, let's go ahead and scroll down to the bottom where you'll see the partner institutions. So for me, I am from America. So we'll go to North America, United States, and find my college, which is right here. Okay, whoops. So yes, and they've got all different kinds of information sheets for each specific university. This is going to vary greatly. I cannot stress to you how different this will be for each student. For myself at the University of Georgia, I had to go through essentially 3 different application processes, and then I was told where I was going to go based on who I was as a student. So first of all, I had to meet the requirements in terms of my academic performance, my Japanese performance, and so I had to apply through the School of Japanese at the University of Georgia. Then I was nominated to the next process, which was through the Office of Global Engagement, which is how we get, all of our exchange programs and international programs and things like that. Then afterwards, that's passed back to the head of the School of Japanese, And he is very knowledgeable about all the different schools, so he'll place you where you need to go. Originally, I wanted to go to Tokyo, and when I found that I wasn't placed in Tokyo, I was admittedly a bit, maybe upset isn't the right word, sad, disappointed. Um, but man, I don't think there's a better place in Japan than Fukuoka. Like, holy crap. If you're thinking like you have to go to Tokyo, like scratch that, man. Like Tokyo is cool, I guess. I've been there a couple times, but Kyushu, Fukuoka specifically, that's the place to be. It's just so nice, man. The people are much friendlier. The food is much better. It's cheaper too. It's way cheaper. Way cheaper. The beaches, the mountains, the forests and stuff like that. Oh man. And you're not like trapped inside of a concrete jungle either. Anyways, this is about the application process. So yeah, once I got placed by the school, then I had to start doing all of this application process stuff. So now let's get back to the reason you're here. There's two different kinds of programs that you can apply for at the JTW program, and there's a half year program and a full year program. I'm part of the full year program. Would absolutely recommend the full year program. I mean, if you're here for one semester and that's all you can make, that's great. But if you can squeeze that full year, do it. And you will not regret it. Having the time over here is just incredible. It's life changing. I know you hear all these people saying, "Oh, I found myself in another country," but really, it's an incredible experience. So once you get nominated by your school, it's just a matter of whether or not Kyushu wants you. They'll literally just tell you yes or no. Um, Fortunately, I was told yes, and so it's all about just submitting documents, right? It's very similar to the process that I just went over before, where they're going to ask about your educational history, they're going to ask about your work history, they're going to ask about your grades, and once you give them all of that, you wait. You'll wait for a while, and they'll start to give you some information later down the road. But once you get all of those documents in, then it's really just kind of filling out the paperwork that they give you. So they're going to give you a COE, a certificate of eligibility, and you will use that to go get your visa. And you'll go to the Japanese consulate, whichever one is nearest to you, and apply for a student visa. And that depends on how long you're going to be here. Of course, this is also important for the international student as well. You'll need a student visa, of course, and it'll be the same process. You just be applying for a different timeline, 4 years versus 1 year, or half a year. And so the process was pretty simple, at least for the Japanese consulate in Atlanta, which, funnily enough, is Fukuoka's sister city. Um, it took me, I think it was a week or 2 weeks to get my visa. That time may vary, but make sure you get that done as soon as possible, and then you'll go back and you'll fill in that information. This entire process is done through a JTW portal, which they will give you access to. I would love to show you guys mine, but it has so much sensitive information on there. Really, all it is just a big place for you to put in information. They're gonna know everything about you by the time you come over here. And once you've got your visa, and here's the funny thing is you get to apply for housing as well. And you might be thinking, oh, let me look at the dorms and find out which one I want the most, and oh, let me pick this one. It doesn't matter. If you are a part of JTW, you'll probably just be placed in dorm one, where I am right now. So if you guys haven't seen the dorm tour, I'll put a little card up so you can click on that. More than likely, almost, 95, 99% certainty, if you are part of JTW, you will be placed in dorm one. Everybody last semester and everybody this semester and everybody who's been here for the full year was placed in dorm one, which is cool because it forms kind of a I guess camaraderie, and also you're really close to classes, so it's It's not that bad. There's nicer dorms, there's bigger dorms, but they're more expensive and they're further away from campus. So, and once you've got all that squared away and you buy your plane ticket, they tell you not to buy your plane ticket until you get your visa, and they don't send you your COE until like, oh gosh, it's close to a month before you're supposed to leave, which means like the application time for your visa is going to be really, really close. What I would do is buy the plane ticket beforehand. I think the best time to buy it is like roughly 3 months out, at least for US prices. That's, kind of the rule of thumb there. You can get a refundable plane ticket if you like, a little bit of peace of mind, but you don't want to buy a plane ticket like within a month before leaving. It's just going to be so expensive. So buy it out if you can, and if you want to get the refundable one to get that peace of mind, that's cool as well. But if you've come this far in the process, chances are you'll just be going. Anyways, it talks about tuition and tuition waivers, but as part of an exchange program, the whole thing is you pay what you would pay at your home university. So I don't pay any tuition here. I pay it all back to the University of Georgia. And so the only expenses that I have here are the ones that come with living, right? And of course, I've got a video on that as well, conveniently. Trying to make as much information accessible to you guys as possible. When I was coming over here, there wasn't a whole lot of information. And so I just wanted to make that, out there and easily accessible for everybody coming over. Anyways, this seems to be just about it. If you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I will do my best to answer those as quick as possible. I have much more experience with the JTW program than I do with the international program, but I have plenty of friends who might be able to answer some questions as well, so I can always reach out to them. But, thank you for coming and watching the video. If you got any value out of this, please, drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future content. Again, questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, put them in the comment section. I will get back to you. I answer all comments. But good luck if you are planning to come to Kyushu University, and I know you'll enjoy it here. It's genuinely changed a lot for me, and I'm very, very happy for this experience. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Peace.